Time off has a significant impact on a company. If you can organize it well, you can plan ahead and hire temporary workers to avoid any understaffing, which could lead to a drop in production, quality, and customer satisfaction. In fact, an effective leave management system can help us reduce our unplanned costs and then have a positive impact on Stealthywood's financial health. Scheduling enough people to cover during annual leaves and holidays will also ensure that there is no dip in team morale. No one wants to be asked to take on extra work just because everyone planned their holidays at the same time and no one noticed. A leaves management app like Odoo's will help Stealthywood keep track of leaves the best way possible. On top of that, we've discovered that some of our employees are stressed at work and are not productive due to this. The problem? A bad work-life balance. By taking some days off, they can de-stress and come back happier than ever. Now with Odoo, our HR department will spend less time monitoring and responding to leave requests. The system will keep our records up to date so we can easily keep track of our employees' days off. For the employees, they can request their leaves in a flash and have an overview of the status of the requests, as well as how many days they have left to take. So let's see this in Stealthywood's database. All right, here I am on my database. Let's go straight to the time off application. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do when we're on the time off application is actually to define the different kinds of days that our employees can take off. So for example, you might have some annual leaves, but also sick days or home working days. We want to be able to define those types and let our employees choose from them. So let's go to configuration, time off types. So as you can see, I have many, such as compensation hours, sick time off, unpaid, parental time off, and more. To create a new one, you simply have to click on the Create button, but let's go ahead and check out one that already exists. So we're going to go to Annual Time Off 2020, and I'm going to click on Edit so that we see all of the options. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be able to add a payroll code if we would like to, and then we can also determine what kind of time they can take off. So either days, half days, or hours. Okay, so that depends on your business's needs, of course. And then we're going to be able to decide how we're going to actually allocate those days. So if no allocation is needed, if they can just take them as they want, so maybe for unpaid days, we can say that they are free to request allocations, and we can say that they only can be allocated by the HR. So for example, I don't want my employees to request their annual time off 2020, but I just want my HR department to allocate those days themselves. Okay, so I'm going to say allocated by the HR only. And then we're going to be able to decide who will actually validate the days off when our employees go to request them. So I can say that there's no validation. For example, if I let my employees take unpaid days whenever they want because I won't be paying them, I don't necessarily need to validate. Or I do, it just depends again on my business's needs. I can say it will be the time off officer, so maybe someone in my HR department who will be responsible for approving these requests, or perhaps it's just the responsibility of the team leader. It's their job to manage their people. And I can also say that actually both the team leader needs to be aware and approve, and also the HR or the time off officer needs to approve as well. Okay, so I have a lot of options here, and of course you can change this per type. So that's really nice. Then I'm going to be able to assign a responsible for the annual time off type as well, or for any time off type. So I'm the responsible for this type because I am the time off manager. Okay, and we can even add a validity date. Now, this isn't mandatory, but it is useful in some cases. So, for example, for our annual time off 2020, I only want those days to be available in the 2020 calendar year. Okay, so I say that they have from January 1st to December 31st, and I have added those validity dates. Then below, we're also going to be able to modify the work entry type on the fly as well, just by popping this open if we need to. So we can edit how it's displayed in the pay slip, and then we have it marked as time off and keep time off right. Okay. So let's leave this the way that it is because I have set this up beautifully, if I do say so myself. And then we're going to save this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and allocate some days off for this leave type. So I'm going to go to managers. Since I'm a manager, I can do this and allocate some days off to myself. So when I go to allocations, I'm going to click on create. Okay, on the right side, we have the mode. So I can actually I can allocate days off more than just by employee, but I can also do it by company entirely, or perhaps only by department. And then I can also do it by employee tag as well. So I have a lot of options here, which will save me and my time off officers a lot of time. Okay, but since I have employee selected, I am the employee. So let me just show you. If I choose by company, I will simply have to choose the company. If I choose by department, I'll have to choose by the department. So it's quite logical. Okay, so I'm the employee. I want to be sure that I have the correct time off type selected here before I allocate the days. I'm going to add a description, which will be annual time off. Seems pretty simple. Okay, then we're going to have our allocation type here, so either regular or accrual. Okay, and then I can say the amount of days. So I'm going to allocate 20 days to myself. All right, seems like a nice amount. And then we're going to go ahead and click on save. Okay, and on that time off type configuration, I did say it needs to be approved by the time off officer and the team leader. But since I'm the administrator, I have a lot of power. So I'm going to go ahead and do both sets of approvals. Okay, I see the stage from to approve to second approval. So I'm going to go ahead and validate this actually, and it will mark everything in the chatter. It will mark my task as done, and then I'll be able to see the entire history. Okay, so now I see that this allocation has been approved. So let's go ahead and take some days off. So I'm going to go to my time off and my dashboard. Okay, so right away, I'm going to have a really nice calendar view, and this will show me all of the days that I have requested or all of the days that I have taken off. So as you can see, I've already taken some time off to have a trip with my family. And then I also had a doctor's appointment, which was several days. Okay, at the top, we're going to be able to see the days we can actually take off. So as you can see, I have some compensation hours allotted to me as well as my annual time off, and I haven't taken either of those. So I see I have 96 hours remaining and also 20 days remaining for the annual time off, which is really nice because I can also plan my future trips based on the time off that I have left, which is really cool. I don't have to go look back and see how many days I took at the beginning of the month. I can just see everything right here. And if I've taken other days off that aren't allocated but sometimes necessary, like sick days, I can do that as well. Or I can see that as well. So to take a day off, I can simply click on New Time Off Request, but I can also just click on a day and I will have a time off request automatically popping open, which I can configure. So it will be the date that I have selected. Okay, I can modify this if I want. So let's go ahead and take a couple days off. Okay, it recognizes based on my working calendar that I don't work on Saturday and Sunday. So it's only saying that I have Friday and Monday off. So a duration of 2 days, which is really nice. And then we can add a description. So I'm going to say mental health days, which are really important. And then we're going to go ahead and click on save. Okay. Now I'm going to notice that I don't have those days off just yet because they need to be approved. So we're going to approve these days. As a manager, I will need to approve my employees' requests and as a time off officer as well. So I'm going to go to this nice managers menu. And I'm going to go to approve time off. So by default, I'm going to only see the people's time off that I manage, but I can remove this filter to see everyone that is to approve. And I have my mental health days here. Status to approve, and there's a task in the chatter. So let's go ahead and approve this. But before I do, something that's really cool here is I can actually see who else from that department has taken days off in this month, which will really help me manage who can still take days off. If I don't have enough people on hand on that day, maybe I will have to refuse a few requests. So I don't have to go to look at everyone's calendars. I can see that right here from the time off request, which is so convenient. It's really going to save me a ton of time. And this, again, it is by a department. So I'm in the management department. If I go to the next person over, let's find someone else who is not in my department. Research and development, for example. I'm going to see research and development in January, and you'll have all of the people in that department who have requested days off. Okay, so let's go back to my days off. Okay, so it shows me as well that I have already taken a few days off, and Charlene as well, but they don't overlap with the days that I'm requesting. So I'm going to go ahead and approve. Okay, I need a second approval, of course, so we're going to validate. And so far, so good. It looks really good. And then I see that those days were added here as well from the time off request. So now that I've done that, let's go back to my dashboard. And I'm going to see that I have taken 2 of the 20 days and I have 18 remaining. Okay, so that updates. So I can really keep track of how many days I'm taking and how many days I have left, which is so convenient for both you and your employees. Now, of course, from my dashboard, I can look at a different view as well. So I don't have to look per month. I can look per week or day. I have the list view as well, which can be helpful. But this is particularly helpful as a manager when I'm looking at everyone's days off. So to do that, I simply have to click on everyone. Okay, and first of all, I'm going to have a really nice view where I can see by the month who has scheduled what. I see a lot of sick days, but I also see some annual time off as well. So I have that really nice view. Of course, I can change the time period, so week or year. I see that no one has taken any time off today, which is good. It's a busy day for us. And I can also check this out by the calendar. So I have a really nice overview of the entire month this way. Okay, it's really visual for me. And then I can see this by the list as well. And then don't forget, you can always group by different things. So perhaps I want to group by the type. Okay, I want to see who is taking off based on the type and then in the employee. So if I go to sick time off, for example, I'm going to see that Mark Demo has taken a lot of sick time off. So I definitely might want to check that out. See what's going on, if he's okay. And so this is a really great way for me to manage my employees' time off. But more than just being able to see all the time off, we do have a lovely reporting section as well. So I can go to reporting and I can do this by type or by employee. So let's go ahead and check by employee. Okay, so first of all, I have this beautiful view. Okay, I see all of my employees on the bottom, and then I can see a color code for the type as well, the leave type. Okay, so right now, for example, I see that I'm the only one who has taken any days off other than sick days. So clearly there's an epidemic in the office right now. I should definitely check out what's going on. Okay, but I can also group by different things as well. I can also change the date. Okay, I can change the time range. I can even compare time ranges. Okay, I have different filters. So if I need to look at just what is to approve or what needs second approval or what has been approved, I can check all that out here. Okay, and again, we have different views like this, which is always really nice. If I want to remove some people, I just have to click on their name here or remove some types. Okay, just like that, and we'll remove it from the pie chart. Okay, and then we're going to have our pivot view, of course, which we can convert into Excel or download, which is really cool. And of course, the calendar view as well, which is personally my favorite because it really gives me a clear idea of what's going on. I can remove certain employees to clean it up a bit. So that's really, really convenient and nice. So as you can see, managing your employees' time off, and even for you and the employees as well to request time off, it has never been easier. So you should definitely take advantage of this awesome application.